Hello, this is him, here to summarize the Adele changes in version 267 for anyone who hasn't played in a while, or maybe someone who is just a little bit too lazy. If you don't want to know the full details of all the changes and just want to know what you have to do differently, here's all you need to know gameplay-wise. Change your skill sequence to this. Make sure your noble summons is locked. You don't need to press magic dispatch anymore. Put weapon aura in your pet buffs. And you don't need a resonance rush anymore. Anyways, let's do a quick rundown of the changes. Aether Forge and Ethereal Arms are now passive. Legacy Restoration will automatically summon 2 swords when casted. IED and Final Damage from Resonance Rush are now passive, so it's just a movement skill now. Infinity Blade and Storm can now be added to your skill sequence. Noble summons can now target enemies that have been marked with Grave Proclamation, so you don't need to stand on top of bosses anymore. To toggle this on and off, just right-click the skill in the skill window. Magic Dispatch has had its damage decrease, with Cleave's damage increasing as compensation. Aura Weapon is now 100% uptime. Conversion Overdrive has had its damage buff fixed at 45%, rather than having a cap of 45% and being based on your current mana. Impenetrable Skin no longer grants damage when getting hit, and essentially every skill's action delay has been decreased. Let's look at the flashiest change, the Cleave action delay decrease. Here's a clip of Cleave in version 266. And here's a clip of Cleave in version 267. As you can see, you attack considerably faster, down from a delay of 510 milliseconds to a delay of 420 milliseconds. If you can't see the difference that well, try listening to the difference in attack speed. Functionally, this means you get 4.2 more cleaves in 10 seconds. Make sure for optimal damage that you decrease your keyboard repeat delay in your system settings. Previously, with a Roar 4, you didn't want to have your Roar in your burst sequence since you would have downtime where your Roar was active but your Infinity and Storm weren't. But since these skills are sequenceable now, you can have your Roar in your sequence even without a Roar 5, meaning your burst goes down from 5 keys of setup down to just 1. Probably the biggest change to your gameplay is that you don't need to press Magic Dispatch off cooldown anymore. You can choose to unbind it, but it's actually still useful to use when bosses are invincible. Since the shards linger for a bit, it's a way to eke out just a little bit more damage. But since its damage was halved, this is really just some min-maxing that you don't need to do. If you didn't press Dispatch before, don't worry about it, kitten. Here's a BA from version 266, and here's a BA from version 267. A few things to note about these BAs. The biggest thing is that I didn't have event buffs for the version 266 BA, so you need to add an extra about 7% FD. But also, I use a 4-second hat, I only have 4.7% cooldown skip, and my Ruin Hexa boost is only level 10, so with the max Hexa it would be doing like 28% more damage. But the takeaways from these BAs should be able to be extrapolated to more general results. You can see this patch ended up being about a 5 to 7 FD increase, mostly from more damage from Cleave. Hello, this is him, here to summarize the Adele changes in version 267.